Thanks, DK. Welcoming everybody to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. James Haskell, Glenn Martin, and we are here to talk about our Baltimore Ravens on a Wednesday evening. There's some good, there's some bad, but we're here to talk about all of it. First of all, Glenn, how you doing? Not as cold as yesterday. This evening was nice fall evening.
Yeah, yesterday was insane with the wind and the frigid temperatures. Winter it felt like it was a little early, but yes, back today, ready for some real fall weather and football weather. But look, I'm doing well, but I'm a little the honeymoon is over, Jimbo. We had quite a honeymoon of injury. When you talk about the injury report, it was glorious last week. It was beautiful. It was the first time in the 5 years or 6 years we've done this show where on a Thursday it was completely empty, blank. Not even a single name was listed. Well, Jimbo, that was short-lived. But how are you other than that?
No, I'm good. Doing good. Holidays are quickly approaching. Look, we're that family. Christmas tree is up, baby.
Is it?
Christmas tree is up.
Have some respect for Thanksgiving, bro.
Oh, look, we got the fall decorations outside. And we got the pumpkins. We got the flowers outside.
Wait a minute. That means it's a fake tree. Is that what I'm getting at?
Oh, it's a fake tree. Yes. Yes, it's a fake
Jimbo, you're a young man. You have young children. I need you to get out there, get a saw in your hands, and cut down a tree.
And because I have young children, is exactly why I do not have a real tree.
Oh, my goodness.
The sap, the needles, the water, just asking for it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And Coda would be
a little older,
distraught. He'd be knocking stuff off.
Oh, yeah. Once they get a little older, we'll get the real tree.
Okay.
But the Christmas tree is up, dude. Let's go. Christmas music is on in this house. The cookies are being made.
Guy. Okay. I like it. I hope everybody's having a good fall and upcoming holiday season. But, Jimbo, we got to talk first and foremost about the health situation in Baltimore.
Yeah.
If you're like, all Ravens fans. I know you saw the news pop up. Lamar Jackson missed practice today, and then we all waited to hear what John Harbaugh had to say after practice. And I'm going, oh, no, please don't tell me. I was hoping, honestly, for illness because I'm like, oh, well, at least an illness will pass with plenty of time for him to suit up and be back to full strength this Sunday. But it's, I guess this is worse than an illness, right? I mean, I guess this is what you would say, right?
Yeah. Oh, man, Glenn, what do we do? Like, just like you said, short-lived, not happy. Freaking, dude, I felt bad for Bateman because Minnesota, you could tell they were really trying hard to get him the ball, and then he got hurt on that play when they were trying to get him in the end zone.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, and it also was a bit of a controversial tackle. John Harbaugh might find himself getting in some sort of trouble with the league after he criticized the non-call of the hip drop tackle. In fact, it seems like that call never gets made in game. We've seen some fines being doled out after the game, but I admit it's a tough call to make in the game, which is why I've been saying it for forever. We need to have an official up in a booth who can immediately get down to the ear of the white hat referee and get that stuff taken care of quickly. Not send a guy under a hood, but say, hey, you guys missed this live. It's quick, but that was a hip drop tackle. We need to penalize these guys. Not that it would have made Rashad's ankle any better, but it may prevent future injuries from happening. But yeah, sad for Rashad that he's dealing with the ankle injury. They called it a high ankle, which has me a bit concerned as to how much time he might miss.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I'm nervous about that. Look, for any Zay Flowers fantasy owners, I guess that's about the only thing you can be happy about, right?
Well, I think when Zay's on the field, if he sees Rashad open and he sees Zay kind of open, Zay's getting the ball.
But now I feel like even more so.
Yeah, now more so for sure.
Like, I mean, unless Hopkins is going to get more snaps, of course.
Yeah.
Like CJ Ladder saying maybe more Tez. But what's the deal with Lamar? That's what got me the most nervous here.
Yeah, let's jump right to him.
Because I mean, ultimately, look, I guess we can. All right, we'll talk about Lamar. We'll come back to the other names because we got to spend the lion's share talking about the captain, Lamar Jackson. The knee, Glenn. How did Coach verbalize this?
Well, he's basically trying to say nothing to see here. You know, he's trying to say it's just some general knee soreness. He'll be fine. Nothing to be concerned about. And I hope that he is being honest, and I hope that is the case. But it's always worrisome when we don't notice anything. Like he came out of the game. I I didn't notice anything in the game. I know he took some hard shots, but I wouldn't think that would affect his knee. It was more, I mean, he took some pretty tough hits, especially when the Vikings were blitzing from the right side. He took some good shots, but I didn't see anything coming out of that game that made me thought his knee was at all injured. So to see him miss practice certainly has me a bit concerned, but I hope it is, like he said, that it's some soreness and not anything further, because, man, we cannot afford to have Lamar Jackson missing any more time. We saw what that looked like, and sure, Huntley had one good game, and we played well in that one game, but we also have very little margin for error at this point, and we saw a lot of bad playing when he was out as well, more bad play than good. So I hope that that's what it is, but certainly concerned about, and it's like, dang, because now we feel like he was finally healthy from the hamstring. We're starting to see some quarterback runs, which you know how valuable that is to our offense, especially in like short yards and red zone situations. Now it's like, they're going to have to dial those back a little bit, even going forward, even if he is able to play.
Yeah, it certainly makes me nervous, like you said. Dr. Uncle Bobby, what's going on, man? I feel like everyone is sort of hurt-ish this time of year. Our guys are glass good as can be. All right. Well, I hope you're right, Bobby. I love the optimism. I mean, just always get nervous when Lamar's on the list and doesn't practice. But look, I guess what we'll do is we'll side with optimism with Coach and with Bobby. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But to your point, when Lamar is limited in his look, he's also, I mean, we know it. Lamar can drop any ball on a dime, right? Like he can just in a bucket. But he's such an X factor when he's moving around, whether it's behind the line of scrimmage or he's running. So, you know, to gain yards. Fingers crossed here. Let's hope this doesn't linger ultimately. But let's talk about a few other ones. Obviously, the other one is Marlon Humphrey, who got the pin in his finger, if I'm not mistaken. And supposedly he's only going to miss 1 week is what I'm hearing, right?
That's what they're saying. He could have played through it with some padding and all that, but I'm kind of glad he got it done. I mean, he did have an interception, funny as it is, that he got his hands on a football and was able to make the catch even with the injured finger. But I'd like to see him, you know, full strength for when it matters most, and hopefully we can get by the Browns. And if need be, hopefully we can get by the Jets next week if he is forced to miss 2 games. I think that's the concern. 1 or 2 is the expectation. Hopefully 1, but if it is 2, good news is it's the Browns and the Jets, who are both in the bottom, 2-3 teams in the entire league.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of the 2, right? I mean, ultimately, any win is a win, and any NFL team is an NFL team. You can't take any of them lightly, but I'm okay with it being now rather than, you know, the last 5 weeks of the season, when I think within those 5 weeks we play the Steelers twice, the Packers, the Patriots, something like that. 6-5 weeks, whatever it is. So yeah, get it done now. You know, the other ones, I guess, you know, we should bring up Justice Hill, big part of this offense.
Yep.
You know, and not practicing with a toe. Hopefully that is just precautionary. And I think it's worth mentioning Isaiah Likely, Keaton Mitchell, and Malachi Starks, because they're contributors to this team. Certainly Malachi was graded as the top graded safety, if I'm not mistaken, this last week. Keaton Mitchell's really started to come on, and I know John wants to continue to sprinkle him in more in the offense. And Isaiah is, you know, everybody's golden child, right? So they all want him I want him to play well as well, but ultimately he's a contributor on this offense as well. And we need everything we can have out there. So it's tough, man. Like you said, Glenn, we got a little reprieve and we're working our way right back up the hill again.
Yeah, and even Jay Higgins, he's been a special team standout for us.
Yeah, it's true.
He's got a knee injury, and that sounds like the most worrisome. It sounds like a multiple week issue. So hopefully he can get back and healthy, get back out there making tackles on special teams. He's certainly valuable there. But I think the thing is, it's 2 running backs on this list. It's Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell, because naturally, if Justice Hill were to miss, that just means more snaps for Keaton Mitchell, which would make some fans happy to see more of him. And I think I'd be in that boat. But with him banged up with a knee injury as well, maybe we'll kind of have to see what type of roster maneuvering the Ravens will do if it proves to be more serious. Could ultimately be just, you know, he just needs a day. He's a young guy, needs to heal up, but hopefully that's all it is. But if it is more, then we'll have to look at it. And then Marlon Humphrey being out, you know, we'll see more TJ Tampa. We'll probably see more Keon Martin. And yeah, so I think we're okay in that regard. Now, one person we won't see here, who neither will the Eagles, because he's going to need to take some time away from football for a little while, is Jaire Alexander, who was a recent trade for the Ravens, trading him over to the Philadelphia Eagles. And he announced, I believe it was yesterday, that he's going to take some time away from football. He's going to try and get himself back healthy, both physically and mentally. And so I did want to take a second to kind of point that out, because, a lot of people, including us, we were pretty hard on Eric DeCosta. I wouldn't say we were terrible. Like, we weren't expecting them to compete with the Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner trades at the deadline, but we were critical, and that we hoped they would be more aggressive, shoring up some glaring weaknesses, particularly the offense and defensive lines. And they weren't as aggressive as we had hoped, but a lot of people were really tough on them. And even on the Jaire trade, saying, oh my goodness, what were we thinking? Trading Jaire away, how he got us, how he does it again. How does he keep on doing it? Well, I think Eric DeCosta, unfortunately for Jaire, hope he gets himself back together and gets out there. But it looks like at this point, Eric DeCosta got one over on Howie.
Yeah, it does look to be that way. And look, I think they were in a tough spot, right? And they were certainly desperate, right, to get some sort of depth there. If you look at their depth chart, it's pretty rough from a secondary perspective. So, I hope all the best for Jaire. Yeah. And he got his money this year, and
most of which is still coming from the Packers.
Yeah, that's true. Jeez Whiz. But yeah, hope for the best for him, and I think it just honestly speaks to the desperation that they have in the secondary, similar to we have in the front seven.
No, on both sides, for real.
I guess definitely on the offensive or the offensive and defensive line, excuse me.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, hopefully he gets but look, the Ravens did turn a 2027 7th into a 2026 6th. So not like a huge upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless. And for a guy who was not going to be playing here anyway. But yeah, hopefully he gets himself together, and as long as the Ravens aren't playing him, hopefully he gets back out there for the Eagles. But let's get into something I'm excited to do is kind of take a peek around the AFC North now that the division is as close as you'll see across the league. We do have some news coming out. Speaking of injuries, that Joe Burrow is back at practice, recovering from the foot injury. Rumors are he has a steel plate in his shoe protecting the flex of his foot in a lot of ways. And as they try and rush him back to hopefully salvage the season. And, it's kind of interesting because it's like, what more can Joe do? It's like Joe Flacco's out there putting up 470 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they're worried about rushing Joe Burrow back. It's like, are they going to get the hint that it's not the offense's problem here? It's the defense. But I guess we'll start there. Does that worry you at all? Apparently he's aiming for potential Thanksgiving matchup with the Ravens, but that seems a bit hopeful. So does that scare you at all? Joe Burrow's coming back.
It makes me a little nervous. Certainly at this point, Joe Burrow is better than Joe Flacco, right? The only difference,
safety.
The only difference I'll say is I haven't watched a ton of the Bengals, but it feels as though Joe Flacco is just more willing to throw it up sooner. Where like Burrow
ball out quicker.
Yeah, Burrow just kind of hangs back there with the ball more than he needs to. And it obviously offensively is working for the Bengals.
Big time.
So, I guess I would be, if that's his first game back, sure, bring it. We're going to have a lot of momentum at that point in my estimation. And so I think we'll be okay, but it'd be fun to see Joe Flacco. I don't know. Like you said, does it make a material difference for them at this point? Because if he's not playing safety, if you ain't getting a guy in the back end or you ain't getting somebody to, improve that defense, I don't really know what you're doing. If you're the Bengals, right? Joe Flacco just threw for 170 yards, 42 points.
Yeah, 4 tutties.
Like, what else is there, dude?
It seems like an unnecessary risk. Now, if they go out and win their next couple while they wait for him to fully recover, then maybe you consider it. But, any more losses, they got actually, why don't we pull that up? Let's pull the standings up, and we'll kind of go through the schedule here and see what we got. Okay, here we go. So we have the Bengals here, who are currently sitting at 3. What is that? 3-7? Is that what?
I think DK's got the. Is this you, Glenn, putting this up?
Nah, it's DK.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, come on now. If I did it, the whole computer would freeze. I'd be kicked out of the entire thing. Be no good. But what is that? Is that 3-1, 2, 3? Yeah, 3-6 is where they're at right now. So they're sitting at 3-6. Upcoming game is going to be against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Pittsburgh. The way I look at this game is it's a bit of a win-win for Ravens fans. I'll take either one to lose. In fact, I guess if I could have my choice, I'd say I want it to finish in a slobber knocker tie. Where they just absolutely beat the hell out of each other and end in a tie. That would be excellent. But either way, the Ravens are going to look forward to seeing one of those two teams lose. And so if the Bengals were to fall to, it's very reasonable they could lose to Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, even with Joe Flacco, the Steelers slayer at the helm. But then they got to play a really tough and talented New England team that's surging under Drake May and Mike Vrabel. Like before that matchup in Baltimore, if they're 0-2 in the next two, now they're sitting at 3-8. What's the point?
Right. That's what I don't understand. I know every team wants to fight. I think coach is fighting for his job. And I get that completely. What is the point at some point, right?
Well, they get rid of Lou Anarumo. Remember the longtime defensive coordinator there? I believe he's in Indy right now. And how are they doing?
Right.
And they bring in another guy, and it's like, I guess Lou wasn't the problem. Maybe it's a talent deficiency issue in Cincinnati. And so, I just think it's crazy to risk the health of Joe Burrow, who's already had many issues with health. You're gonna risk his foot when it's over. Like CJ's saying, your season's over. Like, what are we doing now? I guess if they were to win the next two, then you give it some different consideration. But I don't know. I think that would be a risky move. And then you got to play Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore with a Joe Burrow who's on a questionable foot. I think that would be a crazy decision. But the Bengals have made a lot of crazy decisions.
Seriously, that's going to be really interesting to see how they decide to operate moving forward, because just like you said, it's pretty possible. I would say they're not going to be favored in any of the next 5 games.
Nope.
Right? So they could go 0-2, come to Baltimore, get shellacked, and at that point, before coming here, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I tell you what would make better ratings: Joe Flacco starting for them on Thanksgiving.
Oh, you're damn! Imagine the lead up to that game. Joe Flacco coming back to Baltimore. Man, I had an opportunity to go to that game before I realized it was a Thanksgiving game, and I had to bail because my wife would have been very upset. But man, in hindsight, if I knew Joe was going to be there, man, I might because that's going to be a pretty cool atmosphere. In a big game for Baltimore, even if, Burrow's not out there, it's going to be a huge game. Division matchup. Baltimore's got to win the home game. Man, that would have been pretty dope. Yeah, no, that would be. But I don't know. I don't know what ends up happening there. I don't know how they play it out with which Joe they start. But ultimately, that's not the problem right now. No, certainly not. Certainly not. But let's also take a peek. The Steelers right now sitting at 5-4, currently hold a 1-game lead over the Baltimore Ravens. But man, that loss last week, thank goodness that loss. The Chargers finally did the Ravens a favor here after the Colts couldn't the week before. Big loss. Really shook the core of the Steelers, it seemed like. Steelers fans are down in the dumps. Like, Aaron Rodgers had a bad game. The defense has been struggling all year. Now the offense is starting to really tank. I hate to say it's one of those I told you so moments, Jimbo, but we weren't buying into the Steelers team from day one. Nope. No, we saw them as fraudulent, just like you said, from day one. Weren't believers and still aren't. Let's see. DK, can you scroll down a little bit? Let's see what they got coming up here. All right, so they got hold on, do I understand this correctly? Yeah, they have of course, the Cincy game, but they got a toughie here. Look, they still got Buffalo, still got Detroit and Baltimore twice. Yeah, and I think Chicago, that offense, they put up points. Outside of our game, they've put up a lot of points. If you look at what Chicago's been doing lately, and even before us, they were averaging like 35 a game in like the 3 games leading up to our game. So they're putting up points. Now, Buffalo, I don't know what the hell is going on in Buffalo. They got absolutely destroyed by the Miami Dolphins, 30-10, if I remember correctly, or 31-10, completely dismantled. But Buffalo's now a little bit more desperate and certainly want to hold on to that division hopes and dreams, because the Patriots right now are leading it. They have the lead in the win-loss column as well as the tiebreaker because they beat them head-to-head already. So Buffalo is going to be a desperate team, but I could very well see them losing to Cincinnati because Joe Flacco just does what he does. I could see them losing at Chicago, and then they gotta hope and pray they beat Buffalo at home, because if not, I think guys are going to be starting to plan their vacations by December 7th matchup in Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. That's going to be really interesting, that Cincy game, and that'd be so funny if Joe Flacco just puts a hurting on him again. I mean, they've got to be scared, right?
Dude, I would be. I mean, he does it every time he plays him. He goes for 300 and a few tutties.
And the problem with the problem when facing Cincinnati is that you have to have the horsepower to at least keep up with the offense, right? You can't just be mediocre, right? And think you're gonna keep up, because they'll drop 40 on anybody.
Yep.
Right. Their defense will give up 47, but they're gonna score 42. I mean, that's literally what just happened. That's not even an exaggeration. So a team like the Steelers, whose offense, I mean, their best offensive weapon right now is what's his face? Who's their kicker?
Oh, Boswell. He is. You're
Dude,
right.
dropping dimes right now. They are asking that guy to do everything. Like the kicks they're asking him to do are ridiculous. Not even fair. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel kind of bad for the guy. Like at some
his
point,
legs are gonna get sore.
Like, dude, is this not worth 5 points at some point?
It is in our fantasy league. You hit a 50-pluser, you get 5 in our league.
There you go. So, I mean, look, yeah, it's going to be really, so let's see. If they lose this game, they're 5-5, right?
Yep.
And if we win, we're 5-5.
Tie ball game. And they have at that point, they would have 2 division losses. I'm sorry. Let's see. Is that 3 division losses? Why do I not? Really? This standings I have does not have the division. Come on.
Let's see.
Get it
1 to Cincy. That would be 2 to Cincy if they get swept by Cincy, because they've beaten Cleveland once. They've had 3. This will be their 3rd divisional game.
Yeah, so that'll be their 2nd division loss, and we have yet to take a division loss.
1 and 2, excuse me.
Yeah, so that would be a huge, huge loss for them. They cannot afford to lose that game.
Glenn,
but like you said, what?
Can you imagine? Sorry. Everyone uses this meme. It's one of the most famous parts in The Office when Michael walks in and said, oh, how the turntables, right? But like, we were 1-5. This was their chance to just really hit the gas. And there's a chance we can be 4 weeks later, just a month later, 5-5.
At us.
Still on top of the. Oh, man. If that happens, I'm going to laugh at every Steelers fan. Oh, that's great. Anyway, I
can't wait to see it. I mean, they're already imploding. Oh no, am I freezing up?
A little.
Get out of this ESPN.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah, it's just because I X'd out ESPN. Holy smokes. Oh, that's what I get for trying to see their division record. I mean, what was I thinking? I must have been crazy. But yeah, I mean, they still got to play Detroit in Detroit. And then, of course, if this season does go, how they're hoping and they stay relevant, man, that week 18 game, whoo, could that be something? Seriously. At home against Baltimore could ultimately, I mean, I could see the Steelers. They hate the Ravens enough to where they would be fine just being spoilers if that game matters at all to us. But imagine if it matters to them and us. Imagine if it's for the division. How cool would that game be? I expect it to be flexed into some sort of primetime spot if that were the case. But yeah, that would be a crazy, crazy matchup to watch to see if it comes down to the division. But yeah, they got a tough schedule here, man. Like they had the easier portion early on. This is not going to be an easy road for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the exact opposite of our schedule, essentially, right?
And in fact, DK, do you have ours ready to go here? Let's pull up the Ravens' remaining schedule, as they are, again, 1 game back of the Steelers for the lead, and they're 1 game or a game and a half, I believe it is, ahead of it's 1 game ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals here. So, man, look at that run. Oof, that was a rough first 6. Remember we talked about, man, them 6 weeks are going to be tough, and we were like, we'll be fine. Well, they weren't so fine. Let's see here. Can you get that a little closer, DK? Zoom in a little more. Get the bottom of the screen here. But, all right, so at Cleveland, and we're going to get into the ins and outs of that game in our breakdown coming up later this week, but not an easy game in a sense that Cleveland always plays us tough. We know what that defense is going to be bringing to it. We know that Myles Garrett, who leads the league in sacks, is going to be doing. I mean, Ronnie, you better get some sleep the night before. It's going to be a long one. And I'm scared for Lamar's health when you already talk about a guy going into it with a banged up knee. Ooh, that's a scary proposition. And it's not just him. He's got a bunch of guys up and down that defensive line that scare the hell out of me. So that's not going to be an easy game, but it's going to be a winnable game, a game in which the Ravens will be very heavily favored, even though it's in Cleveland. And the same can be said about the Jets. I mean, actually, I could say more confidence will be playing against the Jets at home. They won't have the division familiarity that the Cleveland Browns have. They also don't have Myles Garrett, even though they do got some guys on the other side. But
they've shown more signals that they've given up, right?
Well, they just beat the Browns last week, so it's like
that's weird, right?
But they did give up. They did trade away Quinnen. They did trade away Sauce. They have 38 first-round picks the next 2 years. But, yeah, I mean, winnable game, better win those games. And if the Ravens are able to come out of those 2-0, man, oh, man, is there pressure like all over the Steelers and even the Bengals to a lesser degree. But, like, very winnable games. I mean, I look at this. What's the toughest game? I guess at home against New England?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's weird. I still don't believe in them yet. Is that weird?
I can see why.
I just feel like
it feels a year early.
Yeah, it feels a year early.
They don't have the weapons. I don't know how they're doing without the I mean, Diggs at this point is their best weapon by far.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to say this because the AFC North is not great right now, but the AFC East is like, I mean, you got the Jets who are, and then Miami's an absolute dumpster fire. So now they just
dumpster fire beat the Bills.
Yeah, and the Bills aren't even right. The Bills aren't even the problem with the Bills. We talked about they're very top heavy.
Yeah,
they're very, very top heavy. Everyone was bashing our depth when we were going through that bad stretch.
Yeah,
I don't even want to know what the depth of their roster looks like. I mean, these are guys that are scratching to stay in the league, right?
They are, and let's be honest, Josh Allen. I mean, he's not playing so well right now. I watched a few film breakdowns of him, just kind of curious what the hell's going on. And yeah, he's not playing his top game right now either, which they need him to if they have any chance. So yeah, I think New England not as battle tested as maybe some of the other teams that are at the top of their division, but I still look at that as our toughest matchup. At Green Bay is not going to be
easy,
especially if they're still fighting for something, which they likely will
for
be.
Sure.
Even though they gave the Eagles everything they could handle from a defensive perspective. Their offense was absolutely abysmal. Jordan Love, I don't know what's going on with the combination of Jordan Love and what's his name, LaFleur, but something ain't right with those two. They're not on the same page. The offense is just I mean, they're too good. They have so many good players offensively to be that bad, to be horrible. Yeah. I mean, that was a snoozer Monday night. I was struggling to stay awake, Jimbo.
Yeah, I feel you there. Unfortunately, ESPN and YouTube TV aren't getting along right now, so I couldn't watch the game.
That was the best game that could have ever been played under this scenario because you didn't miss anything. You missed a punt fest.
Ugh. Well, good. Glad to hear that. But yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting run here for the Ravens. And I think that, I mean, if we had to re-guess our wins and losses now, we already did at the beginning of the season, but I don't want to get out over my skis here. Where are we at, DK? Let's see. We are at yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to say anything ridiculous.
You about to predict us to go 5-0? I heard you.
Wait, we got more than 5 games left?
I know, but I thought you were going to say our next 5. Easy 5-0.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, you're okay with that? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's really the last 3. that I'm struggling with.
That's right. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's reasonable to say.
We go 5-0 here. We're then what? 9-5 going into the last 3.
Yeah.
And we've seen Lamar do this, right? Like Lamar has gone on runs and just torched the league. How many did we win in a row in 19?
It was a lot, like 14.
Yeah, and this is my thing. You don't think
like
that
this
you don't think offensively we should be better than that 19 team? Offensively.
Well, the biggest difference is we had a better offensive line.
We had an incredible O-line in 19. I mean, it wasn't even close, right? But passing, Lamar's maturity as a quarterback, the stable of backs he's got, the stable of pass catchers he's got.
Yeah, in every other way, but it just shows you the value of an offensive line because I think if these two, I mean, I don't know, man, like that offensive line was that good, like.
Yeah. Dude, have you heard Vinny on 105.7 bashing? He has this new saying where he goes, left guard, right tackle. Anytime, well, who's there to blame? Left guard, right tackle. Left guard, right guard, right tackle. Like,
they're a mess. And then you throw in the 3 plays that Stanley will have bad in an entire game, happens at the worst time, and then the 3 to 5 plays Linderbaum will have that aren't so good happen at the worst time. And then the rest is just like just flip a coin on those other 3. Like, oof, it's bad. It's been really, really bad. It's kind of, I mean, look, the Lamar Jackson had his second fastest time to throw in his career last week against Brian Flores. By the way, second only to the matchup when Brian Flores was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. So obviously there's a common factor there, but they're having to completely change their offense. I guarantee that Todd Monken is ripping up half his playbook and going, we can't even do that with this offensive line. We cannot do any of these plays, throw them in the garbage with the current state of play of our offensive line. They're an absolute mess. We're constantly having to keep tight. Look how many times we play four tight ends, Jimbo. We're putting, I mean, definitely 3, but if you include Ricard, we're playing 4 a ton because we simply cannot block with our regular 5-man protection. Just cannot do it. And yeah, it really is. It's tough to watch. It's tough to understand why. I wish I could somehow get John at a bar somewhere and get him absolutely liquored up and ask him and just grill him questions. Why the hell are we not seeing some like something else at the guard positions? I mean, even if it's not Cleveland, even if it's
who's the other kid?
Bullock or Buller.
Yeah.
Is it Bullock? DK? Help me out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, why aren't we? It's like this unwillingness. I mean, maybe they have to be. There's no way it's just pettiness. It's just this dog. It can't be just this imaginary doghouse. There's no way it could be with grown men with this much on the line, with this much money at stake, with this much. There's no way it's just doghouse or personal issues. It's got to be something they're seeing in practice day to day. It just has to be, Jimbo.
Yeah, no, it absolutely has to be. It's so perplexing at this point. I mean, the problem is kind of getting out of control.
It really is. It's terrible.
Like, you're breaking people's brains over here. I mean, it's so bewildering. But we'll see what happens if they can turn a corner. That's ultimately what it'll come down to now. We'll go as far as this offensive line will let us or take us because the defense has stabilized, right? The defense is out of what is it when you go into critical at the hospital? What's it called? Critical condition, intensive care.
That sounds right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They're now stable.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Like they got the heartbeat, they're breathing on their own, but golly day, this offensive line can't block friggin' me. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? I feel like I could get around Falele half the times you put me in front of him.
Yeah. Oh, he can't reach you. First of all.
Right between the legs, dude.
Yeah, like I tell you who the Ravens need to invest in. I just saw a clip of a 16-year-old sumo wrestling phenom.
I saw this guy.
Dude, he's tiny because they don't even have weight classes. And he beat that big slob out of pure technique and skill. Get that 16-year-old in the international program. I want that kid at left tackle in a few years.
We saw what happened at the replacements, right? The movie?
Yeah. Yeah, you get those big
I
boys.
believe in it 100%, dude. They're not lying. Not lying. You seen the video
flexibility.
you seen the video of Michael Parsons trying to go up against a sumo wrestler?
Like a brick wall.
The guy laughed at him.
Like a brick.
That's one of the best we got.
Yes.
And he laughed at him. He was like,
exactly.
He literally laughed.
That kid was 16. He looked like he weighed about $175, and he manhandled that big slob. Absolutely manhandled him. So yeah, I mean, put him in the program. But also, Jimbo, before we get out of here, I had to get your take because I don't know if you saw this, but in the offseason, we talked about the trade that the Pittsburgh Steelers made, trading away Minka for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, and we kind of questioned it if it made much sense. And I find it interesting. Since then, Jalen Ramsey is making a move to safety. Jimbo.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I just find it interesting. Why in the hell would you trade away a safety, an all-pro, Pro Bowl safety, for a cornerback just to move him to safety?
It's weird, right? What are they doing? I like that you asked me this question just to give me more of a chance to bash on the Steelers. I appreciate it.
Just to
cue you up. And it's Jalen Ramsey, so it's even better, right? Is he just too slow now to play corner?
I mean, I think he was their best corner, which is the real sad thing about it all. I don't think he was really playing that terrible, but that's just how desperate they are for a good safety. Then why would you trade away a good safety?
I don't get it.
It's great. Now today they did sign free agent cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. to their practice squad.
Good luck with that.
Who just recovered from a spinal fusion surgery in time for the second half of the season.
How long ago did he get that surgery? Because
I'm not sure, but I know it's a tough cookie to come back from.
Like 11 months minimum, right? Like, I don't know how long ago it was for him, but yeah, that's wild.
And he's a young guy. I kind of feel bad for him. He's a talented player, but there's a reason I guess he was a free agent, right?
Yeah. Poor guy. Dang, that is tough. This is the thing I'll say about the Steelers that I think is interesting. It's something worth considering. In the last interview, I heard Bisciotti talk about this, like his full-length interview. He talked about his last decade of life, and he talked about one of his goals being to die with no money, and that he will sell the team. One of his children will not inherit the team, right?
Yeah.
Look at the Giants. Look at the Steelers. I think they're third-generation owners now.
It's not looking good for either.
It's terrible. It is. Now, look, the Colts are on their third-generation owner, if I'm not mistaken, and she's certainly starting to turn things around.
She looks different.
Yeah, so it's not every case, but I do think there is something to be said about that, right? Like the Detroit Lions went through it for a long time until finally they got the right person, the right master of the ship, and now they've kind of turned things around. But I think there's something to be said about that.
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, look at the Cowboys to some degree. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
now Jerry's still there, but his boys are very much a part of that team as well. So, and they're not doing so hot either. Yeah.
Right, and where does that team go, ownership wise once Jerry's dead?
Oh, it's definitely going to Steven and them. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it'd be funny if Jerry just wants to make his last big splash and sell it.
Wouldn't that be something?
Just for to be able to die saying he sold the record-breaking most valuable franchise in the world, this, that, and the other, $8 billion or $12 billion or $15 billion, whatever it ends up being. That's
up on the market. I wonder what it would, because there's valuation and then there's what someone's going to pay for it.
Yep.
And I think it could be 15, 20. I don't know, but it would be a lot of money. It would be a lot. When you get that whole brand, I mean, it's the most valuable brand in all of sports. That's beating the Yankees. That's beating, it's the most. So, yeah, I mean, but to your point, yeah, maybe those generational teams, it's not wise to operate that way, even though I couldn't imagine being the owner of one of these franchises and not passing it down to my boy Cam. I couldn't imagine not doing it.
I could.
Yeah. But Cam loves ball too.
I would want them to be a part, but I don't think I can just give it to him.
Well, you have to try and find a way throughout their youth and early adulthood to make them somewhat earn it from some degree, right? Like
it would have to be like the Harbaughs were born coaching.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be an advantage for the team for it to stay. But if it's going to hurt the team because my kid is like not interested or not involved or whatever, like that would be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like ultimately, if it's going to hurt the team, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I feel you.
Yeah. It'd be tough for me.
Anyway. We're never going to be in that situation. That I can confidently say.
No, I don't think he's selling it to me and you at 410 Sports Talk. That'd be a pretty cool story, though, Steve. Think about it.
Think about it, Steve.
Please, give me a chance.
Oh, but I think that's it for us tonight, folks. We'll be back, of course, to preview the upcoming divisional matchup. We'll hope for a speedy recovery for these Ravens. Certainly Lamar Jackson, Marlon Humphrey, all the guys on the list, Rashad Bateman and otherwise. But that's it for us. We'll talk to you soon. See you.